Shalom, shalom. Hopefully you can hear me. Call hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kadash. It's going to be a quick hit. But before we start, we give honor and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kadash. As always, double honors to the elder apostle Ruel. Salutation to the fellow Akim who lay under the apostle doctrine. To the Akim and Akwaf that believe, that's sincere, that believe, and continue to strive in the faith. To you, I say shalom. So this is going to be a quick hit, and this short lesson is going to be about anger, because it's something that I experience, we all get angry, right? But it's not about being angry, it's knowing how to deal with anger when it comes, because scripture tells us that, to be angry, but do not sin, right? So there's nothing, is loosely paraphrasing that scripture in the Psalms. So there's nothing wrong with anger. The key is to know how to control yourself when you're angry, not to speak, right? Not to allow your anger to make you say words that can destroy your relationships, that can burn bridges, right? Not to allow your anger to make you commit evils. See what I'm saying? To commit sin, because we're more prone to sin. We're easily prone, I would say it this way, we're easily tempted to sin easily when we're angry, and we become weak, because when you're angry you get weak, and you can easily sin. You can easily fall into temptation, easily, to do evil. So nothing wrong with being angry. We just have to know how to control it. We gotta know how to deal with our anger when it comes. Now this is a precept on anger that I want to touch on. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 32. It reads, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." So the question rises, right? A couple questions rises. Why are you better when you're slow to anger than the mighty? So the mighty will represent a soldier. So why is not being angry, right? Not being, easily angered better than being a soldier? Because if you look at, let's say, I'm gonna paint a picture for you, right? Let's say you have a soldier and a commanding officer and his soldier, right? And a soldier under him, right? Let's say the commanding officer's name is anger, right? And the soldier, and the soldier is whatever, right? You fill in the blank for the soldier's name. So as a soldier, and you Akim and Akwaf that serve in the military, you have orders to follow, and you get your orders from your higher ups, from your commanding officer. So in this scenario, right, that I'm painting, if anger tells you to be angry, you have to follow that order as a soldier, because you've been trained to accept orders, to, even if you question the order, even if you are you dislike the order, you still have to follow those orders, right? And you, like I said, you Akim and Akwaf that served in the military, you know what I'm talking about, because you had to follow orders that you necessarily didn't want to follow, or you questioned about, but you followed it because that was a part of your training. You was trained to take orders while you were serving, while you did service in the military. So if the commanding officer, right, whose name is anger, says, hey, you have to be angry, right? That soldier has no choice to be angry. But you, right, not being a soldier, and I'm gonna explain this scenario, right? When that commanding officer, right, that higher up tells you to be angry, you could say no. You can deny that order, and that's the point. Because soldiers have to take orders, but you can assess, and you can assess yourself and stop and say, no, I don't have to accept that order. I don't have to follow that influence. I don't have to be angry, because a soldier has to take orders. They have to follow the influence. Influence means go into the flow. So whatever the commanding officer say, that's what they do. But you don't have to follow the influence of of anger. You don't have to let anger rule over you. You see what I'm saying? But a soldier must be ruled over by his commanding officer. All right. It says, and he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh a city. So why is ruling his spirit, right? Bet better than an invading army, than an army taking over a city. See what I'm saying? Why is that better? Because an armies fight battles, right? They fight wars. And it's no different now than it was in ancient times. In ancient times, there was many fierce battles, that different armies from different nations fought, you know, different armies and different nations fought, right? Conquered lands and took resources from neighboring lands and other lands. But the point is, what the scriptures laying out is this: an invading army, right? They had a fierce battle. They may have a fierce battle to conquer a land, to conquer a city. See what I'm saying? They had to fight. They had to fight hard. It was a fierce battle. They've had casualties. They took losses to get that city. And they might rejoice and feel good about themselves. But guess what? You to rule your spirit is better. Why? Because you won the greatest battle of all, the hardest battle, even harder than fighting someone, than fighting an opposing army. See what I'm saying? Than fighting a fierce battle. You fought the fiercest battle of all, which is yourself. You conquered yourself. You ruled your spirit. You get it? You ruled your spirit. To fight in a war, that's a fierce battle. But to rule your spirit is the greatest battle of all. Because that's a battle that not everybody wins. That's a fight that not everybody that'll win that fight. Some people lose that fight. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, the world, they lost that fight. They let their emotions control them. They let their emotions rule over them. You know? Some people got bad anger problems. Some people got bad temper, and they let that shit rule over them. You have people that can't rule their spirit, so whatever they feel, they act on it. And that's why through anger, let's say they somebody gets them angry, right? They act on that anger. They speak through that anger. So guess what? That anger has led a lot of people in jail. Their anger has led a lot of people in the cemetery, and their anger had burnt a lot of bridges through their anger. See what I'm saying? A lot of relationships gone through anger and through their emotions because they don't know how to control themselves. So yeah, that's beautiful. We're gonna end it off with this. I'll bring out one last scripture. This is Psalms. Actually, Salakia, I'm gonna go Proverbs. Stay in Proverbs 4 and 5. 4, 5, and 6. So now you see why it's important to not to get so easily angry and to, have more self-control over yourself, right? To control your temper. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5 and 6. It says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, Salakia. I'm gonna read it again. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. So in other words, the Lord is reminding us to use wisdom, is to get the wisdom, right? To get this truth and apply it. You have to apply it because the scriptures is not it's not like school where you just got this knowledge in your head, you will never use it. You know what I'm saying? How many subjects did we learn in school, whether it's college, high school, elementary school, whatever? All these subjects that you're learning, but you never had to use it in real life. This is not the case. What you're learning here is you learn it and you put it in your brain, but you have to apply it in real life. This is what it's for. You know, this is what it was made. This is what the scriptures is about. Learning and applying what you learn in the real world. You know, real world applications. So you have to get the wisdom, get this truth, and get the understanding, because you can know all the scriptures that you want, but can you apply it in a real life situation? That's the most important part. Remember, Lucy paraphrasing says in Romans that the hearers of the word are not justified, but the doers of the word, right? Those who apply the wisdom, not just have it. See what I'm saying? You got to be able to apply it. Because what good will wisdom be for you if you don't apply the wisdom that you have? It says, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. And that's why we get in trouble, right? That's why anger can consume us. That's why we say and do things that are stupid when we angry, but because we forget the Lord's word. We forget scriptures like I read, Proverbs 16:32. Proverbs 25:28. That's another good scripture on anger. That's the precept to that. To Proverbs 16:32. Proverbs 25:28. That's the precept. We forget scriptures like Psalms 37, 8 and 9. You see what I'm saying? Those all scriptures dealing with anger. And when you forget, what happens? You go off your own, lean on your own understanding. You go off your natural, you know what I'm saying? Of your natural response, which is not the correct one. You know, you let your emotions, you speak and do things out of anger, and it ruins everything. So we gotta get this truth. That's what the scripture's saying. Get the truth, hold on to the truth, right, and apply it. You gotta apply it. Application is key. Last verse 6, it says, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Because when you go into the Greek, the word wisdom is Sophia. Okay? So that's why it's a her, because wisdom, the spirit of wisdom, is a woman. All right. It has it's described as a feminine. You see, Sophia described as a not as a feminine. Not an actual woman, but a feminine. Okay, it says, forsake her not, and she, which is wisdom, Sophia, shall preserve thee. Right, because you going when you find yourself in situations like in another good scripture on anger, Proverbs 15:1. A slow anger turns away wrath. I know many of you guys heard that before. You know what I'm saying? So when you in a situation when somebody's arguing with you, or they get angry, maybe you know what I'm saying, they feel like you looking at them the wrong way, you looking at they woman, or they, you know what I'm saying, the wrong way, right? You wisdom is gonna meet you in your thoughts, as the scriptures say, right? It's gonna meet you there, and it's gonna give you the instructions on what to do. Okay, this is what you need to do. You need to hit him with a sword for sparks. You need to apologize, but in a calm way, so that he don't overreact. You see what I'm saying? So she's gonna preserve you, because you're gonna know what to do when you find yourself in situations. That's why in verse 5, the Lord is reminding us never to forget. Because once you forget the wisdom, right? Once you forget scriptures, you ain't gonna be able to apply them. You like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You gonna just go off what's natural. You're gonna go off, and you might make a situation worse. You know. So it's always good to remember scriptures. That's why you start to study every day. Well, not every day, but study as much as you can. Because every day is not good, but you want to study as much as you can. You know, make a routine of studying, but make it but frequently study. I would say, so that you can lock these scriptures in your mind. So that's when you find yourself in a situation, you can apply it. So when someone's talking to you crazy, right? Someone's angry, to hit them with a soft answer, because that's going to turn away their wrath. It's going to calm them down. You see, that's you applying wisdom. It says, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, which is Sophia, wisdom. Sophia in the Greek is wisdom. And she shall keep thee. And she shall keep thee, right, safe. She keep you safe from danger, harm. Because when things get bad, or things may get crazy, you know what to do. Because you got the wisdom. You know, the only thing now is just to apply it. You know what to do. But speaking on the topic of anger, right? If you meet somebody that's angry, or somebody that's upset, you know how to make peace with that person. You know how to meet them in the middle. You know how to calm them down. You know what I'm saying? So that they don't lash out and hurt you because you got the wisdom. So the whole thing is not just to know how to control our anger, right? And to rule our spirit, but also to move with wisdom, you know? You always gotta have move with wisdom, man. Move with wisdom always. So Lord willing, I hope this was an edifying lesson. To you, Ak and Ma'ak, off that listen. And with that, we give all honor, all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash. So next time I say, Shalom.